Thank you for joining me for the reschedule tonight of our pleasure healing. I so appreciate you guys coming along and joining me tonight instead of last night. I'll tell you what was going on. We've had about 3 days worth of contractors here in the house. We also had an alarm that was beeping for 48 hours, and there was no pleasure to be had last night, none to be had. So I had to reschedule, and now tonight there's pleasure to be had. So I'm actually very excited to do this healing tonight. So thank you for joining me. And I'm going to go ahead and set the energy for this healing tonight with a prayer. As we cleanse and heal the temple of the soul, may it be with the blessing of divinity, that it shine its countenance upon us and bring us peace in body, mind, and spirit. Amen. Okay. Well, I'm breaking down pleasure into 4 categories tonight. And as you know, I do break these energies down when I do the healings. It just helps me to be able to stay on one topic for a few minutes and then move to the next. So the topics that we're going to be healing tonight are pleasure in your workspace, pleasure in your body, pleasure in your money, and pleasure in relationships. Ooh. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the healing for pleasure in your workspace. And the very first energy I'm finding is a lot of Black energy in everybody's creative energy, and that's men and women. So a lot of denying of the creative energy. Let me back up a little bit. Not you denying your creative energy, but this is foreign energy coming at you that is trying to block your creative energy through competition. And like this is really a lot of competition energy. So yeah, I might actually break it down into different kinds of competition, because the first one that I see is like competition from coworkers. And some of you have some very cutthroat coworkers, if I may add. I'm going to try to ground that. And now competition from administration. There's a lot of brown energy, kind of thick brown, coming out as the administration competition gets grounded. That was good clearing. And also no space, not having your own space at work, which is another form of competition, if I may repeat myself, but I'm going to work this specifically because I'm really seeing how it's very hard to find pleasure in your workspace if you're being micromanaged. Good. The competition of micromanaging was released. The next thing, and this might be from competition, from micromanaging, but there's a lot of anger coming out. This anger has to do with your levels of toleration, like how you are expected to tolerate a lot of politics. That's the energy that I'm looking at right now. I mean, this is kind of funny, but as I ground politics, there's a lot of gossip coming out. And much like where I saw that you needed more space to find your pleasure at work, it's not just space, it's more authority and greater input on what happens to you in your position. There's a disgruntled energy coming out of where you would like to be promoted, and that disgruntled energy gets in the way of pleasure. For a few of you, that might be the energy of holding a grudge. So I'm working on that. Yeah, holding a grudge is a great way to keep your energy stopped and dead still. When you hold a grudge, you're holding energy in place, and it's coupled with anger. And sometimes you can forget what it was that the grudge was originally about and remain angry. And then when it comes time to move the energy out, you've forgotten what you originally got angry about. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that over and over. So just have your awareness. I just want to say hello to any of you that are holding grudges. That's a stop energy in your space. And you might want to say hello to putting the energy of your grudge in a rose and blowing it up. And I'm working on it for you right now. But I was just telling you what you can do for it as well. And where the energy gets held on a grudge is a lot in the intestines. So I'm doing a healing to clear where I see that energy getting stopped. There's some really bright yellow gold coming into your workspace right now. And there was one other area that I wanted to just ground quickly. To me, it looks like the energy of outside services, people who work outside of your business or corporation or company, and their influence on whether or not you can find pleasure. I'm going to ground this space. Good. Good. I'm happy with that. That moved. All right. I'm going to fill your workspace in with gold. And your workspace has breadth to it now. There's a lot of space. So as with all of these healings, you want to be filling in with gold suns after the healings. I'm filling you in as I go along, but you actually are creating a lot of space for yourself. So you want to continue to fill in with gold suns after the healing. Okay, the next space that we're going to take a look at is pleasure in the body. First thing that shows up is pain from birth. So some of you have birth pain that inhibits your ability to be sensitive to pleasure. So that's a red energy. Yes, what I'm going to do is give everybody a hello to the shock in the body at that point where you're birthed and you come out of the body and you have light and a very different environment. And there's actually shock from that birth process. And I'm seeing that that shock that everybody has an effect on your ability to enjoy sensations of the body. There's a red energy coming out of everybody's channels. The other thing I want to do is just take a moment and clear shock out of the spine. Good. I got to watch that shock release from the top down. And next, I'm going to ask Supreme Being to come in and work with each of you to reset the tone of your spine to your original essence. That's super cool. It's like listening to a bunch of bells go off because each one of you has a different tone from your original essence. And I got to hear like what those sounds are like. The next energy that's coming out of the body that inhibits pleasure is a lot of self-judgment. Largely about appearances. And this again is for both men and women. And what I'm working on is a wall of white programming in both men and women's spaces about what the ideal body is, quote, supposed to look like. And there's so much programming in there. It's thick. So I'm going to be working on that for a minute. Yeah, there's so much expectation for you in the way that you even walk, hold yourself, talk. That energy of expectation is coming out. I also see that as a white energy. Oh, I just saw something else light up, and that is karma, preventing you from having pleasure in the body. And I'm going to try to do a group karma healing and help ground some of that. And that would be my best explanation of that would be past lives where you exited the body and did not clear certain levels of pain in the body. And those energies came forward with you into this body. Yeah, another way to look at this is it's like a lot of pain that you just brought into your body at birth from past lives. And since I'm doing this as on the group as a whole, it's a brown energy. Good. All right. There's a really pretty orange gold coming into that. Oh, and the energy vibration also of playfulness as that pleasure gets brought in. It also raised the energy of the body to have playfulness. Okay, now the next one is pleasure in your money space. There's a very distinct difference between whether there's pleasure in the earning money or pleasure in the spending money. And there's way more pleasure in the spending side of money. So I want to work on the earning money because really and truly, we want to have a job that we can wake up and feel really good about and be excited and in enthusiasm for in the morning. So I want to work with you to help ground the energy that doesn't allow you to experience pleasure in your earning money space. Rules. First energy coming out is lots of rules, how to do it, what's right, what's wrong, what works, what doesn't work. There's some brown coming out of the space of earning money. And some of the pictures in that are that it's hard work. Oh, this is a good one. Family energy and money. That definitely is a pleasure buzzkill. So I'm going to work on moving family energy out of your money space. And the reason that family energy gets in the way of your pleasure, at least what I'm seeing in your space, is their competition and also conflict with how money should be created and spent. The conflict with other family members, that's coming out. And then the energy that blocks your freedom in your money space also blocks your pleasure. So there's a black energy coming out. Okay, that space is really opened up. Good. Okay, I was just taking an extra few moments because I wanted to get the energy all to gold, and it's a bright yellow gold now in that space, in your money space. So I'm going to move on now to the last space, which is pleasure in your relationships. Let's take a look at that. There's energy about things that weren't said that you wished that you would have said. That's some of the energy coming out right away. So old emotions that you've hung on to. Well, and really, the first energy I need to address in here is the energy of a heartbreak. I'm going to address that for everybody. A lot of you, when you experience heartbreak, experience loneliness. And what I saw was that the loneliness has to do with getting out of communication with Supreme Being during a painful time. And I'm going to ask Supreme Being to give everybody a healing on that communication space. There's a lot of energy that gets between you and pleasure in your relationship space, and it's a chunk. So I'm working on a big old chunk right now, and it's made up of a lot of different vibrations. There's the energy of old relationships coming out, things that you didn't let go of from old relationships. And that's very lumpy, light gray energy. Past disappointments. And then also loss. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you I can see have some black energy in your original body blueprint that is affecting your ability to experience pleasure in general. I just saw that, so I want to work on that. There's a clay mud colored energy coming out. This is the energy of broken promises and even a little deceit in there. And then an energy that I see needs to come out is the energy of expectations. That's going to be a good one to get out of the relationship space. And demands. And I'm going back, and I can see another level of just pain that has been difficult for you to let go of in your relationship space. And I'm working on that. It's like another layer. Oh, this is good. There's a white energy coming out, and it's the energy of powerlessness. When you're in a relationship and you feel powerless, that's coming out. And now some control energy is coming out. Yeah, getting that control energy out made the relationship space become buoyant. It changed the energy right away. That's looking really good, the pleasure in the relationship space, but I want to do one little thing. I want to tweak your gauge for how much pleasure you can have in your relationship space, and we're going to tweak it up a little bit. So when I tweak it up, what I see coming out are beings. So let me clear some beings. And a lot of those beings are the beings from the parents of both people in a relationship. There's this lovely energy coming into the relationship space that allows for a gentle quality and a softness that wasn't there before. There's a lot more room for both people in a relationship to be there now. And the color of pleasure in the relationship space is really intense. It's a beautiful color. It is like if you mixed a yellow and a deep orange with a rosy pink, only it's really vibrant. And it's just stunning. That's the color of your relationship space right now. I'm going to fill that in with gold. I have to say that space looks really good. All right. I filled all of that in with gold. I'm going to close out the healing. May it be with the blessing of divinity that this healing on pleasure tonight in the sanctuary be complete. Amen. Thank you for joining me for that. We have a Body Beautiful free 30-minute meditation coming up next Friday, and that's going to be on metabolism. I hope you'll join me for that. And that's it for right now. So that's all the news I have for you right now. Got my eyes on you. I look forward to seeing you next Friday for the meditation. Good to see you. Have a good night.